In a world brought to the brink of ruin by too many Zeratools and not enough healers, will this new beacon of hope help the heroes community soar to new heights? Or will the newest hero, the Medevac, drop into the 43% win rate along with other recent releases? This is Tyler from Sightline Studios bringing you an in-depth look at the newest support, Lieutenant Morales. Lieutenant Morales, aka the bane of a shot caller's life when used along with Sergeant Hammer, is being released tomorrow, but we've done some work for the past week on the PTR server already to figure out what is the best way to fit this character into your team composition, and we'd like to share what we've found with you to make sure she leaves Rexar's win rate in the dust on patch day. At first glance, Lieutenant Morales seems like she has the most ridiculous heal ability, for herself and for other heroes. After playing, you will quickly find out this is true, as your healing beam can bring your team back up to full health moments after a team fight, so you're ready for an engage again before the enemy team has had the chance to heal up themselves. As Sergeant Lieutenant Commander Morales, your biggest threat is going to be mana more than anything else. That's why I take Feedback Loop as my level 1 talent. After the 3-second duration of Safeguard is worn off, you receive 45 of the 60 mana cost back. This extra mana is invaluable as your most useful skill uses 15 mana per second. I originally thought and hoped that the second Safeguard granted for free by Shield Sequencer at level 16 would grant mana back as well, which would make it a priority pick over all else as it would create a mana gain. However, after testing, turns out that's not the case. This is still a great talent to take though, as it allows for more multi-target support that Lieutenant Sergeant Commander Major Morales is missing from Healing Beam. Yet her specialization in single-target healing makes her the perfect lane companion for any hero that cannot survive without the buddy system, such as Jaina, Sylvanas, Lieutenant Corporal Hammer, Murky, and Slapather. Since Healing Beam only starts draining mana once you actually heal any damage, Bioshield is a favorable pick as it saves you mana and no one will argue against extra shields going into an engagement. The talent that makes her stand out from any other support in terms of single target healing is Intensive Care. This talent has allowed me to out-heal turret fire, ults, and even sometimes hold team fights, which is where your utility as the dedicated healer is most valuable. Going into team fights already channeling Healing Beam on the engager for 3 to 5 seconds will allow them to excel, as they will benefit from up to the 5 max stacks of shields, and you will gain the healing bonus from this talent. Many fights are won before the first blow is struck, and as such the key to Morales is preparedness, both for yourself and for your team. Despite your legendary healing ability, you yourself are quite vulnerable, since your passive heal requires you to be out of combat. Couples therapy is good for small engages, but in large team fights I've found that it doesn't heal you enough to be useful, so you and the target of your healing will both be endangered, as it takes away the effective extra healing benefit. Many people are aware of this weakness, so if you need to disengage, pop your shield on someone else, and then the free one on yourself before leaving, just to get all the utility you can. This is also where grenades come in handy. At first seeming very lackluster and honestly a waste of mana compared to such an amazing support kit you should save a significant amount of your mana for, I have found that taking Clear at level 7 makes them more efficient when still getting the feel of the character, as the extra area and knockback tip the scales from needing pinpoint precision to a wild random shot effectively able to knock enemies out of position or to get them a safe distance away. However, this is a talent tier I feel is the most up to the situation and personal preference, as the very effective combo of Illidan and Lieutenant Sergeant Commander Major Colonel Mustard Alice benefits from Irradiate for additional damage as a mini Burning Rage damage aura, as if releasing the Hounds with Stimdra wasn't scary enough already. Cleanse is always a solid choice for the dedicated support on your team, but Mule, depending on the circumstances, can help win the game. Ears of the Storm makes it so that the later you get into the games, the more balanced the teams become. So with Mule, you can help slow your opponent's lead by undoing the damage they have already done and start making a comeback. The medic can also achieve this by helping to push out lanes, healing and protecting minion waves so you can conceivably keep the same wave alive all the way to core if you wanted to. This trick is most beneficial for getting more use out of a single merc camp, such as Sylvanas being able to negate turret shooting, Lieutenant Sergeant Commander Major Colonel Emperor Morales can prevent the turrets from killing bruisers by healing the lead one tanking all the shots so the enemy team is forced to respond, allowing your allies to capture other objectives unhindered. The most important decision, however, is, as always, which ult to take, and for Lieutenant Sergeant Commander Major Colonel Emperor Pope Morales, more than any other character, it depends entirely on the situation. Stim Drone is amazing, and will win a team fight single-handedly on the right character. But just who is the right character? The best candidates are basic attack-heavy heroes like Illidan, Zeratul, and even Bestial Wrath Misha, because their increased damage means they can jump right into the thick of battle and walk out moments later with a mega kill under their belt. Even Raynor, Vala, and Sergeant Lieutenant Private Hammer will benefit immensely if built for auto attacks, which brings me to why this ult requires more coordination than medevac. You have to go into team fights with a plan. Lieutenant Sergeant Commander Major Colonel Emperor Pope Captain Morales can't do much in terms of damage in a team fight. Her whole utility is in healing and buffing teammates to win the fight, and the best buff is Stim Drone. So you should let whoever you plan on giving the Stim Drone know at the beginning of the game your intent so they can start building for auto attacks to make best use of your ult. After dropping the drone, you should make sure to heal that target as they will likely be the focus of the entire enemy team's attacks and need help to stay alive. Medevac, on the other hand, despite what General Chat says, requires not much coordination and works with every team comp because if you ever use it in a team fight, it will be for escape. Medevac is the most fun ult in my opinion, and the teams I play with seem to agree, as everyone scrambles to get in as soon as they hear that Inception bois, because who doesn't want to ride one plane? The medevac choice is more dependent on what map you're on. On huge maps, such as Cursed Hollow and Blackheart's Bay, it's a must, while on smaller two-lane maps like Haunted Mines and Battlefield of Eternity, it's not as important because you have to judge how much that added maneuverability will help you. Medevac has such a short cooldown that by the time you've landed it will be up again in 10 seconds, and you may find yourself using it multiple times in a row just to show off your mount. The only downside which scares people and will get you flamed more than anything else is that once you've called in the medevac, you're committed to that destination, and enemies can easily set a trap as there's a notification in chat when either team calls in a medevac. However, with its unparalleled mobility and almost global range, medevac is my go-to ult in a significant majority of games. Taking in everything we've covered, the long and the short of it are that Lieutenant Sergeant Commander Major Colonel Emperor Pope Captain Jedi Master Morales, when built correctly, is the best healer in Heroes of the Storm. However, she pays for this with her lack of health and self-healing, so she will and should be targeted first. Protect her and you will be rewarded, as alone she can't do much, but paired with anyone, and thanks to her concentrated heals, superb damage reduction, and overall support, the pair will become the most dangerous force on that battlefield. Thanks for watching, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and from all of us here at Sightline Studios, this meta is hurting, but with the proper healing, Morales is going to help it stand again.